As I promised you all at the end of Snow Business, this is a look back at some of our recording locations over the years. This room we're in right now is the one that started it all. This is my computer room, and this is where we shot videos like Pure Utter Destruction, Drunken Idiocy, and the Optiplex, which, if I can remember which one's which, I think that one was the one I was working on in that video, which to date is still the most boring one we've done. As you can see, it's changed a bit over the years. Of course, that's to be expected. We started doing videos back in 2006. And here it is, the 3rd of January 2014. And you might have noticed that this room's gotten a bit smaller. That's because we put in a laundry room end of 2012. But yeah, this is the first stop in our little look back at Junkaholic's world. And where this room actually is, it's the front room of my house. Outside there is where Kyle wiped out on Chief Geronimo when we did the new yard sled. We'll take a look at that here in a little bit. But while we're here, I'm trying to show you the next location. My room. And if you saw the video where I tried out this camera for the first time, you'll recognize this. So I'm not going to talk about it too much, but this is where I did both Nate Fails at Sonic Chaos videos. So here it is. And of course, this is where I do all my editing right here. And I used to have a compact. Of course, you know I have a Gateway now. There's Knuckles and Sonic chilling on my bed. Alright. So that's pretty much it for the inside videos. So now we're going to head outside and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So right in there is where we're outside now. This is my house. That's all I have to say about that. Right here is where Kyle wiped out on the yard sled when we did Chief Geronimo. Over here is the other spot where he wiped out whenever the shutter got stuck on the camera. That's what that little black splotch was. The cover on the lens, I guess, would be the more appropriate thing to call it, got stuck. But yeah, this is where that happened. This is my yard. And I'm just going to walk around the outside of it here. We got a little bit of snow yesterday. You'll get the idea. This is where we've shot a ton of our videos. Like extreme snow rafting took place right here, or at least part of it did. That was one of the very first ones we recorded. It took us a while to put it up because, well, I kept forgetting about it. And over there's my shed. And that is the same shed that I jumped off of in Stupid Idea. And that was actually recorded before Pure Utter Destruction, but I put it up afterwards because, well, I don't know why I did, but I did. So if you don't like it, well, too bad. Now I'm walking down the alley now, and this is the alley where we did Chrome Star Runner 2, and the first part of the Aryans. It's up here at the back end of my yard. And down this way leads into the woods where we did the first yard sled. And way, way back in there is where we did the second part of the Aryans. So we'll go back in there later. But yeah, this is where it all happened. We started doing this stuff back in 2006, like I said before, and as we've had free time over the years, it's just something that we've continued to do, and we enjoy it. Right here is the shed up close. This is also where Pumpkin Massacre took place. And I'll probably have pumpkin seeds through my yard for years to come. In fact, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if sometime in the spring I start getting a bunch of pumpkin plants popping up. Here's where the tiki bar is during the summer. You may have seen that in Chief Drew Lawn and Mow and Pumpkin Massacre. And right here's where the deleted scene for Chrome Star Runner 2 was shot, right out here in front of the shed. And we didn't use that chair wagon in the video like we wanted to, because I successfully locked up the engine and transmission in that old Sears at the same time. That's actually what happened right at the very end when it just quit running. But I think we've seen enough of my yard, so let's talk about some of the other locations around here where we've recorded. Down that direction is where we did the snow scene with the Aryans. You might remember the Benny Hill music and the sped up footage. Because, let's face it, just me riding around doing virtually nothing in the snow isn't all that exciting. So we'll just walk down the street here and take a look at that. Surprisingly, to this day, none of my neighbors have really complained about any of the videos I've done, because they all know that I'm crazy. So we just kind of have that understanding. If you hear gunshots, that's a gun range over there. And it usually startles newcomers. But if you've been here for years like I have, you get used to it. This is my neighbor's yard where we did the daytime shots of extreme snow rafting. We started up there. I had the camera sitting on one of those fence posts up there. And I didn't realize it at the time, but there was a branch coming down into the top of the shot. So you see that through the whole thing. But that's where that happened. Now right here is the intersection where I was on the Aryans in the snow. A day very similar to this one, as a matter of fact. And over here is the very spot where I killed Chrome Star Runner 2. Right there on that little hill. And you can't see it right now because it's covered in snow. But the ruts that I dug in the dirt with the tires are still there. Up here is where we did the purposely lame attempts at burnouts. If you understand my sense of humor at all, you'll know that that video was supposed to be bad. More gunshots. Yeah, this is where we did that. And straight across, way over there, you can see my yard. So, put everything into perspective a little bit. So, that's pretty much everything immediately outside of my house. So we'll move on to some more locations. So I was going to take you where we shot the second part of the Aryans video back in the woods like I talked about, but you can't go there anymore. There's a bunch of trespassing signs and stuff. So what I'll do is I'll just show you stock footage from that video and give you commentary over it. So, sorry. That's one location I can't talk about. At least not in person.
What you're seeing here is some footage of the woods near my house where we did this part of the Aryans video. And I wish I could have taken you there and showed you this in person so you could see what it looks like today. But like I said, they have signs up and we can't go there anymore. But this is just a short walk away from my house, and I used to go up in here a lot when I was a kid, especially like with my grandmother. She used to take me for walks in the woods and stuff, and I have a lot of fond memories going back here and exploring, and I used to go back here with friends and stuff. So what you're seeing is actually probably the last time I ever went back there. And the way things are now, I guess it's going to be the last time I ever will. So, there you go, another location. Alright, so we're leaving my place and heading to our next location, which is where we shot Slow Cart. Now, little side note, up in the alley where we did Chrome Star Runner 2 and the Aryans, that was also where the snow track was, where we tested the Slow Cart, if you saw our lost footage video. And a little thing about the lost footage video, there's actually more lost footage out there somewhere, but for the life of us, we cannot find the discs that we saved them on. So if we ever find them, you'll get to see another lost footage video. So right now we're on our way to the what I called an abandoned rock quarry in that video. Actually, I really don't know what it was, but it looked like a rock quarry to me, so that's where we're going. So really cheap camera transition later and we'll be there. Wow, that was a terrible camera transition. But anyway, here we are. This is what I referred to as the abandoned rock quarry in the Slow Cart video. And as you can see, I am the only person who was crazy enough to come here in this mess. And I've discovered, thanks to the fact that I now have a GPS, that this is on what is known as O'Donnell Field Road. So I'm guessing that this is actually O'Donnell Field. But yeah, this is where it happened. And this is a good, 20 to 30 minute drive from my house, which is somewhere in that general direction. Yeah, here we are. This is where the Slow Cart video happened. And this time in much better video and sound quality, because at the time I had a different camera, not the Canon camera, but the one I had before that was a Cobra. And that camera was almost as bad as my Vivitar. And the only good thing I got from it is the case that I keep this camera in now. So yeah, that's pretty bad when the only good thing about a camera is the case that comes with it. But this is it. This is the Slow Cart location. If you saw my snow business video, we told a story about me getting my truck stuck in the snow. This is where it happened. There's the cabin that we got stuck in front of, and this was the spot right about here. And I'm making the same trip in the same kind of weather in my car right now, and I made it just fine. So, yeah. Take that, snow. Stupid snow. Alright, so we are now passing Wind Gap Road onto East Licking Creek Road, which is one of the spots we were in snow business, and here it is in the daytime. And I just wanted to show it, even though it's a recent video. And the main reason I'm showing it is to show you that this was the turn that I missed, and I had to do a little bit of creative drifting. I don't know what you'd call it. But yeah, that was the turn that I missed and decided to slide around it. So, there you go, another location. Here we have Kyle's place, which is about, a half an hour away from where I live. And I ran out of daylight in order to get some footage for you, but here's some from Forklift Style to show you what it looked like back then. And now we'll transition to Robo Mower so you can see what it looks like now. That extra building was an apartment built for Kyle's grandmother, and he lives in there now since she's passed away. So there you go, there's Kyle's place. Here we are at our next stop. It's Walmart. This is the very Walmart where we did the Why Walmart Hates Us video, and truth be told, they don't really hate us.
I happen to know plenty of the people that work here, and some of them have seen that video and they think it's funny. So, that's all I got to say about that.
Here we have some footage of us on the abandoned Pennsylvania Turnpike. It's located right outside of Breezewood, PA, which is about an hour south of my house. I didn't feel like making a special trip down there just to do some commentary, so here's some footage of us doing things. You've seen this all before, but it was about a 10-mile walk, and it leads just almost to Houston town, which is about 13 miles east of Breezewood. So if you want to check it out for yourself, there's lots and lots of other videos here on YouTube. There's also a website which I'll put right here on the screen somewhere. And yeah.
Okay, so this part has nothing to do with anything, but I wanted to talk about two people you've never seen in my videos. There's Jake. Look here, Jake. Or don't look here. And that's Onslow. They're my dogs. Jake's camera shy, aren't you, Jake? Yeah, come here. Look at the peoples. Look at the peoples, Jakey. There he is. See? He's just a little camera shy. There's Onslow again. Onslow. They've never gotten to be in one of my videos, so now's their chance. Jake is part Beagle and part Pomeranian. Onslow is a Jack Russell Terrier. And he loves to get up close and personal. Jake, not so much. Yeah. Jake's trying to escape because he hates cameras. You cannot escape. So those were all the locations where I've shot some of the videos over the years. Hope you enjoyed it.